So the Trezor Safe 3 and Safe 5 are Trezor's latest hardware wallets. Both models are upgrades from the older Trezor Model T and Model 1 predecessors, but which one is better, the Safe 3 or the Safe 5? Right off the bat, the most obvious difference is the price tag, with the Safe 3 costing only $79, while the Safe 5 cost $169. So is this nearly $100 price difference justified between the two models? Let's compare. Also, whichever wallet you choose, you'll find links to both of them down in the description of this video. That'll take you directly to Trezor's website. Never buy your hardware wallet from Amazon or even official resellers. It's just not worth the risk. Plus, your support is what allows me to continue to make these videos, so thank you. So let's start with design. I used to think that the design of a hardware wallet didn't really matter. That was until, I tested dozens of hardware wallets, and I've come to find out that the design is actually really crucial because it impacts the overall user experience. And that's one of the main differences between the Safe 3 and the Safe 5. The Safe 3 is not only smaller overall, but its screen is smaller too. It has a 0.96 inch monochromatic OLED screen, which is bright and clear, but the size can be limiting, especially if you have poor eyesight like I do. Not only that, but there are only 2 buttons on the Safe 3, and I know what you're thinking, who cares, it's just a hardware wallet. And while it's true that we mainly use these devices to confirm crypto transactions, there are other tasks that we can't avoid, such as entering our seed phrase, our PIN, and passphrase if you have one set up. And with only 2 buttons, you can imagine how long it takes to enter a 24-word seed phrase or a 40-digit PIN. It's my least favorite thing about using the Safe 3. To confirm transactions on the Safe 3, you have to press and hold both buttons simultaneously. And while this isn't terrible, sometimes I find myself pressing one button a little bit before the other one, which leads to me not confirming the transaction and maybe moving on to like a different screen or something. So again, this is not a big deal, but I'm going to be pretty nitpicky throughout this comparison because both wallets are so similar. So how does the Safe 5 stack up? Well, I'd say it's actually a lot better. The device is noticeably larger, but it's the screen that really stands out. Not only is it more than a ½ inch bigger than the Safe 3, measuring 1.54 inches, but it's also much more enjoyable to use. Notice the Safe 5 doesn't have any buttons, and that's because it uses a Gorilla Glass 3 colored touchscreen, and this is one of the nicer touchscreens I've seen on a hardware wallet, and while it's still on the smaller side, compared to the Safe 3, I find it to be a lot more usable. I will say that I'm not convinced a hardware wallet needs Gorilla Glass. It's not like our phones where we're on it hours out of the day and we're taking it with us everywhere we go. However, it is a welcome feature, and I'm pretty sure that the Safe 5 is the only hardware wallet on the market that uses a screen this durable, so it's definitely a cool feature. And since Gorilla Glass is 9 times harder than standard glass, it is scratch and drop proof, so if you are rough with your hardware wallet for some reason, maybe you make a bad trade and you get mad and throw it at your wall, or I don't know, try to scratch it with a nail because you're so mad, at least you know it'll be able to handle a thrashing. But even if the screen on the Safe 5 wasn't made from Gorilla Glass, it still offers the better user experience over the Safe 3. When entering your PIN, you get a full numerical keypad, and for entering your seed phrase or passphrase, you get a 12-button keypad. This makes doing basic tasks about 6 times faster on the Safe 5 compared to the Safe 3. Plus, the Safe 5 offers strong haptic touch feedback, so you'll get that little vibration when you interact with the screen, and this is extra nice when you're doing things like confirming a transaction. Now, the only downside to the touchscreen on the Safe 5 is that if you have sausage fingers like me, then you might end up fat fingering some stuff, but even then I still find the Safe 5 offers a better and quicker user experience, and I rarely fat finger stuff since the screen is pretty accurate despite being smaller. Something else the Safe 5 offers that the Safe 3 doesn't is a micro SD card slot. While this is an optional feature, if you do enable it, the device will generate a secret that is stored on the micro SD card, and the secret combined with your user generated PIN code is required to access your device, so it does provide additional protection against physical attacks. So without the micro SD card, you wouldn't be able to access your wallet. Just like all Trezor wallets, the Safe 5 and the Safe 3 do not have a battery, so you just use the included USB-C cable to power on the device and then obviously manage your crypto. And I actually appreciate this because these smaller devices, the batteries are going to die quickly anyways, and I don't just mean like die where you have to recharge them, but like permanently die, like they're done with. When I had my Ledger Nano X, which I still have, I just don't use it, I was using it for only a year, very light use, and the battery was completely toasted after a year, so at that point you may as well not have a battery. As for colors, the Safe 3 comes in Cosmic Black, Stellar Silver, Solar Gold, and Galactic Pink, while the Safe 5 is available in Black Graphite, Violet Ore, and Green Beryl. Both models also offer a Bitcoin only version in the iconic Bitcoin orange color. However, if you choose this model, just know that you can only use Bitcoin only firmware, which means you can only store Bitcoin on that device. Apart from the design, the Safe 5 and the Safe 3 share many of the same security features, with the only difference being the micro SD card slot on the Safe 5. New to both models though is an NDA-free EAL6 Plus secure element chip, which is used to prevent physical brute force attacks in both devices. The old Model 1 and Model T wallets do not have a secure element chip, which secure element chips are really just the new standard when it comes to creating a secure hardware wallet nowadays. And what really stands out about this secure element chip in the Safe 3 and the Safe 5 is the NDA free part, which means they do not have to sign a non-disclosure agreement. Most hardware wallets that use a secure element chip make the wallet manufacturer sign a non-disclosure agreement, basically saying, hey, we're not going to share any important details about the chip. So that part of the wallet has to remain closed source. Whereas since Trezor doesn't have to sign an NDA, their wallet is 100% open source. Something else unique in both wallets is a new backup option called Slip39, which was developed in-house by Satoshi Labs, the creator of Trezor. Of course, you can still set up both models by either generating or importing a standard 12 or 24 word seed phrase, but now Slip39 allows you to use a 20-word single phrase if you want to. So if you choose to use a single share Slip39 backup, that's 20 words, you can initially set up your wallet using 20 words, and then if you want to, later you can switch to a multi-share backup, which is basically Shamir backup, and this splits your seed phrase into multiple shares, and then you set the threshold number of shares that you need to access your wallet, whereas before with the standard Shamir backup, you'd have to initially set up your wallet using the multi-share backup. And that's really the main difference, is you get to choose, to upgrade to a multi-share if you want to do that at a later point. Also, both wallets are protected by your user-generated PIN, and you can set up a hidden wallet, aka a passphrase, aka a 25th word seed phrase if you want to. And all of this is entered directly on your hardware wallet, so you don't have to enter it on your computer, and this is for added privacy. When it comes to setting up these wallets, the setup process is exactly the same, with the only notable difference being that the Safe 5 is going to be a much quicker setup due to its touchscreen. As far as coin support is concerned, both the Safe 3 and the Safe 5 support all the same tokens and networks, so all the popular ones, of course, like Bitcoin, Ethereum, Solana, XRP, Polygon, to name a few, and a bunch of other tokens and networks as well. Okay, so what's better, the Safe 3 or the Safe 5? $79 versus $169. Well, it really just depends on the kind of user you are, because the only difference really is usability. So the Trezor Safe 5 is the more premium hardware wallet. It offers the better overall user experience. So if you're someone who is, using your wallet more often, maybe weekly or on a daily basis even, then you probably want to go with the Safe 5 because it is a lot more enjoyable to use. But if you're just looking for a bare bones wallet that will secure your crypto and that you'll only use every once in a while, the Safe 3 is more than enough. It has all the same security features and it's more affordable. Before I had the Safe 5, the Safe 3 was one of my main cold storage wallets, but remember, I was only using my Safe 3 like a few times out of the year. Now that I have the Safe 5, my Model T and my Safe 3 just sit there collecting dust, because why use anything else? Also, if you're debating upgrading from your old Model 1 or Model T, there's not much to debate. The Safe 3 and Safe 5 are overall better wallets, mainly because of their secure element chip. I don't know if you know this, because I feel like it was kind of swept under the rug after it initially happened, but back in 2023, the Trezor Model T was actually hacked by a security firm called Unciphered, and what they did was injected malicious data into the device, and they were able to extract both the seed phrase and the PIN. Now, to be fair, this specific hack does require physical access to your hardware wallet, so they would need to steal your hardware wallet. They'd also need the sophisticated hardware and technical know-how to hack your wallet, but nonetheless, it is still possible, and it's also the same case for the Model 1. But with the Safe 3 and the Safe 5, it's not possible because it has a secure element chip, which prevents any physical brute force attacks from being able to access your private information. And this is one of the main reasons why secure element chips have become the standard for both secure and reputable hardware wallets now. But if you're not worried about a physical attack on your old Trezor model, then just stick with what you've got. If you are concerned with it, then you might want to upgrade to one of the Safe models. If you still can't decide between the Safe 3 and the Safe 5, make sure you check out my hands-on reviews in these next videos, where I offer more insight and live demonstrations of both wallets. I'll see you there. Peace out.